Mohammed Bourgi still finds it difficult to look at photos of his parents. They were among 16 family members who were killed 20 years ago when he was just 4 years old. They died in the Qana massacre when the Israeli military repeatedly fired on a United Nations compound in the village of Qana, where more than 800 civilians were taking shelter. Bourgi says he remembers the day vividly.
I remember waking up that morning and having breakfast and playing. Then I remember the bombings and my parents taking us to a shelter. When the shelter was bombed, I only saw barbarity. The awful images of my family and other children dead. After that, I don't remember anything.
Israeli commanders said they launched the attack after detecting anti-aircraft fire nearby. 106 Lebanese, at least half of them children, were killed in the Israeli assault. Shimon Peres, who died on Wednesday at the age of 93, was Israel's prime minister at the time. Political analysts say he launched the war on Lebanon following rocket fire into northern Israel by Hezbollah fighters. But analysts say the attack was part of attempts to shore up his military credentials before a general election he lost to Benjamin Netanyahu. Whatever the case, Peres expressed regret for the loss of civilian life in the Qana massacre, but said the compound had been hit due to an incorrect targeting based on erroneous data. A United Nations investigation found it unlikely Israel's shelling of the compound was caused by a technical or procedural error, noting that Israeli aircraft had been surveying the area prior to the attack.
The Israeli army is sufficiently equipped, technologically equipped, to be able to target, to have a meticulous targeting process. I mean, how can they actually fire extensively on a UN base and kill all these children and all these UN personnel?
The victims of the attack are all buried inside this building, which also acts as a center for grieving, with each grave covered in the shroud of the names of the dead. Until the end, Shimon Peres insisted in no wrongdoing during the war he led against southern Lebanon, and also said that he was at peace with the decisions that were made that led to the Qana massacre. But for the families of the more than 100 victims, they say not only do they still have no peace, they've also had no justice. Imtiaz Tyab, Al Jazeera, Qana.